You are now live. Hello, beautiful humans. For those of you watching the recording who are seeing this immediately, I'm not gonna look at you. I'm gonna look at the road. But I am pulling out from... I needed to ask about parking situation down here. I'm pulling out from just going in and meeting with one of the contractors at my new space, at my new office space, at Got Lost Get Found's new office space. I am going into a shared space with Sammy Green, who I talk about all the damn time because she's one of my best friends. And we all get to give a moment of just like, whoo, to Sammy, because 11:11, the full course would not exist without Sammy. Sammy is who helped keep the flow organized and filming and helped me check off what needed to be done. Sammy's brain, she's an incredible conceptual architect. I'm kill it at the visionary situation. I can dream up big, beautiful, incredible things, but it's definitely a bit of an edge and limitation for me to create a plan and actually bring it together and bring it to fruition. And Sammy is incredible at that. So Sammy and I are going to be in shared office space. It was 2 offices and we've cut a hole in the wall. We didn't. We told them to cut a hole in the wall and then they kept cutting because I kept saying bigger. Augustus, I need high ceilings, a bigger hole. And they finally given and gave me a hole big enough that I wanted it. And this beautiful peaked archway. And so we'll have a healing space and then we'll have office space inside of it. And I'm so excited. This is the last week of Mercury Retrograde. And there is a lot coming up asking for attention. I know personally for me, I know for the collective. So I wanted to talk a bit about that because we are ending collectively. We are being offered the opportunity and asked to end a lot of really big shit. And it is probably very fucking clear to you what is asked to be ending that you may not necessarily want to be ending, even if you're okay, yeah, this is good, I'm excited to be ending, it's still hard endings. Example, about a month ago, I ended a relationship. The longest active relationship in my life. I'd known him for 26 years. He'd been one of my best friends for the last 7 years. Before that, my best friend for a year, we dated for a year, it was a whole thing. I ended that relationship because it was time and needed to be ending, and it was just time. And part of what's coming up for me is the energetic closing and ending of that relationship, a burning ceremony, a cord cutting ritual, all this really heavy gnarly stuff that sucks and it hurts and it's not fun. I'm on my way to Red Thread Holistics right now. So yours may be a relationship that's clear to end. I also have taken a detox period from a medicinal plant medicine that has been a huge part of my journey and been so helpful, but was causing a threshold that is one of the reasons it's been helpful in the past, is an emotional threshold, and it wasn't something I currently wanted in my life. The side effects weren't things, so ending a relationship there. I'm driving to Red Thread Holistics right now, where Red Thread is closing its doors on October 26th. So my best friend Jaden is closing her shop right in alignment with Mercury retrograde stuff. My husband has shifted a lot of things in his career. There's a lot of shit being asked to be ended. So my question for you as we're talking, so that I can read the comments when I land at Red Thread, is what are the things in your life that are asking to be ended? And here's the thing. All of those things I just mentioned to you were all things that were good things. All things that were good things. But they weren't great things. And they were things that did have side effects and symptoms to them that were creating resistance to a natural flow of really great, of really incredible things, of really beautiful things wanting to come into our space, right? And so I've got a relationship with like communication that's asking to be ended, and like the way that I can put people around me like on a pedestal and then like create all this shit about why I can't talk to them or whatever, and like I'll just keep the status quo of this relationship because though I'm not like super happy in the way that it's flowing, like at least it's working, and then I don't have to risk like losing it if it's not, you know, whatever. So that's part of Mercury retrograde, and I am one who talks very positively about Mercury retrograde. Everybody bitches about Mercury retrograde, and there is some annoying shit, right? Like technology and travel and whatever. Mercury retrograde is kind of like boot camp for growth and shifting and healing. It's an opportunity where things get there's a contraction, things get more intense, things get just like in order for you to be able to expand on the other side. Thanks, universe. There's a big, beautiful Nordic wheel of life on the car in front of me, which Norse stuff, Norse lineage things, both with me and my husband and my little baby, have been coming up really hard in the last few months. So thank you, universe, for that. And so this is validation to you that those things asking to be ending need to be ended. In the case you don't choose to actively engage with that ending, it's going to end for you, and probably in a way that fucks you up much more than if you just choose to actually engage in the ending. In a way that could be repeating old stories and old bullshit and just like making things harder and more difficult and more painful than they have to be. Do endings hurt? Yes. All loss is trauma. All loss is trauma. Okay? There are different degrees of trauma. We call them big T's or little T's. There are no rules as to what's a big T or a little T. It's all just based on personal experience as to something is a big T or a little T. But all loss is trauma. So all loss, all shiftings, all endings, even if good, even if something you want to be done, are going to be painful. And that's just part of it to know. But if you have something coming up asking to be ended and you choose to consciously engage in it, and like actively be in the ending, you're more likely to actively reap the benefits of it. You're more likely to have an active participation in the flow and the experience of it, in the process of it, right? And so, yeah. That's what I would offer you based on what's coming up collectively. How, Shanté? How the fuck do we do that? Start by writing. Start by writing and journaling to understand. I'm sure, like I said, you know what's asking to be ended. So by journaling and writing, surrender. Why was it so hard for me to find the word surrender? Thanks. Is it Kate or Kay? Kale? Kay the Bay, I'm guessing. Thanks, Kay. Surrender. If you choose to actively engage in surrender into the process versus fighting it, it's going to be so much easier. So how do you do that? I would start by journaling and writing. What I'm doing specifically for this relationship is writing a letter to the person and to the relationship, and then I will be burning it and shifting it. There's also going to be things to write and journal and process through that maybe it's important to share, conversations that is important to be had. But journaling and writing and actively processing your experience to understand the whys underneath what's coming up. And what I would offer to you in that is you're going to write and like, oh, this is what's coming up, and then ask yourself why. Why? What's under that? Oh, well, this is actually what's coming up. Why? What's under that? Oh, this is, oh, why? What's under that? Why? What's under that? You want to get to at least like 4 or 5 whys. It's going to take 4 or 5 whys for you to dig up and actually get to like the actual subconscious roots of shit. Because whatever you think is happening and why it's happening isn't the reason why it's happening. That's a symptom of over and over and over and over and over repeated behaviors of the subconscious reason why it's actually happening. So giving yourself at least 5 why, what's under that, to get down to figure out what the actual root is, because that's what's asking to be healed. This thing that's asking to be released is just a long side effect of the actual issue. Okay? And so if you're releasing this thing without understanding or getting to the actual issue, all you're doing is treating a symptom instead of the actual problem. So much of our modern day medications are treating a symptom, not the actual problem. That's why if you're just taking medication without treating your body and your mental, emotional health and your spiritual health, you're just hooking yourself into another cycle of bullshit. Okay? So, and giving yourself a lot of grace, giving yourself space to rest, and then giving yourself space to physically process. So screaming, dancing, throwing and breaking shit, laughing. I am going this weekend on a photo shoot retreat. It's a 3-day photo shoot retreat down in Utah. I'm going with Jaden. And like creatively documenting and shooting stuff is a big part of a like somatic creative process and experience for me. So that's a big part that I'm going to take advantage of. Someone on here like clearing stuff and stories about who you are and how you can present yourself in the world. That's a big one coming up for someone here. Like someone who's currently looking at me and like, I wish I could have hair like that. You fucking can. Well, no, because of a job. You fucking can. Which is more important? Some like arbitrary bullshit job that's got a rule, or how you want to present in the world. What if you did? What would they do? Realistically, what are they going to do? You could also just like buy a cheap wig off Amazon and just like do your hair whatever you want and then like rock a cheap wig off Amazon. Like truly, like what are they going to fucking do? Right? So yeah, breathe. Yeah, Kay said deep work. It doesn't have to be hard, but it does have to be dealt with. We actually create and make things harder than they have to be because we build up the fear of something. This is what I need to fucking hear today. We build up the fear of something to be bigger than what it actually is. We create a fucking story and we are so conditioned to be anxious. We are so fucking conditioned, and they have pathologized our natural response to how fucked up the world is, and been like, oh, you just have anxiety. No, I have a natural, clear, connected, aligned, intuitive response to my external world. There's not something fucking wrong with me. There's something fucking wrong with this, and you telling me that I'm the issue is the fucking issue. Okay? But we create the story of the process and make it so much bigger and so much scarier than it actually is. You guys want to tap for a second? I want to tap for a second. If you don't know what tapping is, if you've never tapped with me before, drink some water while I tell you what tapping is. Tapping is a self-healing modality to help you physically move energy through your energetic meridian points and support your body in releasing old stories, beliefs, and emotions and writing new, healthier, more aligned, more loving neural pathways. You can't really fucking do it wrong. If you're doing it, you're doing it. And we're gonna do it. So all you're gonna do is do what I do and say what I say. Let me heat up my ass first. Turn on my ass heater. Let me write that about my new car. Heat up my ass. Cause it's fucking cold up in this business. If you haven't seen my stories earlier, it's snowing here. Woke up to 4 inches of snow. Not into it. Too early. Too soon. You hear me, Idaho? Starting tapping on the karate chop point. And let's start by feeling into how you're feeling today as we're starting to tap. Whew. So 10 being best day of your life, 0 being you want to die. Where are you at today? I'm at like a 6. I'm pretty good. I'm at like a 6. Hi, Christina. So we're just starting tapping on our karate chop point, rating how you're feeling right now. 10 being best day of your life, 0 being you want to die. Let's go. Just do what I do, say what I say. So much is coming up to be released and seen right now. Mercury retrograde. I don't 100% know what that is, but I know it's something that we all be talking about, and it's kind of a big deal, and we use it as an excuse and a reason for all the annoying feelings we're having. But we are not owning the story that retrograde is shitty. Mercury retrograde is the best time for me to align my life. Mercury retrograde is the most fertile ground for deep level healing. Mercury retrograde, when I actively engage, brings me incredible things on the other side of it. I love myself unconditionally. I accept myself deeply and completely. And I forgive myself relentlessly for any old stories keeping me away from my deepest level of healing and aligning. Shake it out. Drink a little bit more water. Okay, come in, tap at the top of her head. You can tap, you can also do pressure if the tapping's not feeling good for you today. One hand or both. If there's any point where body has mobility that it's not going to reach the point, just move beyond it. Move on! So many things coming up asking to be seen and released. And I don't want to do it. I'm not feeling like I want to do it. I'm creating a lot of resistance around wanting to do it. Even though I feel this way. I love myself unconditionally. Jump in, Corey. I accept myself deeply and completely. I forgive myself for the resistance I'm feeling. And I'm open to doing things a new way. When I think about wants to go, what's asking to be seen and released, I can see how it will benefit me and how much space it will create. And I'm engaging in such an intense story about how hard and how painful and how intense this releasing will be. There we go. That is definitely so much bigger than what's actually happening. I love myself. Because I love myself, I am ready and willing to engage in the healing and releasing. I'm really looking forward to new space. I'm really looking forward to new bandwidth. I'm looking forward to healing these stories, the deep under stories attached to what's asking to be seen. I'm going to take advantage of the guidance that's been offered about journaling and asking myself why, what's underneath. I don't even know the actual reason for some of these things wanting to be released. I don't know the subconscious story of them. And while this surface stuff, I've got a lot of resistance to releasing, the subconscious story is probably something I'm like, yes. Fuck that. Done, please. I love myself unconditionally. I accept myself deeply and completely. And I am so ready and willing to work through, to open myself to processing what's ready to be released. Beautiful things are constantly aligning for me. And by actively engaging and what's intuitively processing, it happens so easily. My external world flows beautifully and easily when I put my work ethic and determination and discipline towards my healing. I am safe. I am supported. I am so fucking seen. My astral team, the divine, so much greater than me, loves me unconditionally, is fucking obsessed with the idea of my highest aligning. The divine is fucking obsessed with giving me what I want. But it can only do so when I'm in the vibration of it. Letting go of old stories opens me up to the vibration of what I'm calling in. I love myself. I accept myself for these old stories. I'm forgiving the resistance I'm creating to it. And I'm ready to do this fucking thing. I am safe. Shake it out. Drink some water. Checking in. Back on our rating system of 0 to 10. 10 being best day of your life. 0 being I want to die. How we feeling today? No judgment on either. I started at a 6. I'm at like an 8 now. I'm like an 8.9. I'm not gonna give myself a 9, but I'm like at an 8.9. Bought my 4 up to a 6. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. This is a really great one to come back to. Do this Mercury retrograde. We've got a week left. We're in retrograde until the 18th. So we've got a week left. 2 to 3.5, 5 to 7. Hells yes. 6. Beautiful. Ride that out. Journaling, the process of the journaling and asking why, what's underneath that. That part can be uncomfortable, but I will tell you how quickly there's a like emotional and somatic release of relief on the other side is incredibly powerful. We have to have new experiences to write new beliefs and support ourselves building new neural pathways. You can't think your way into a new belief. We have to have new experiences to do so. Writing, journaling is an experience. Tapping is an experience. Okay? It has to be a like actually physically active somatic experience. So both of those are experiences. And so if you've been tapping with me for a while and you're comfortable with the points, you can also tap through on your own. So writing through, figuring out what these limited beliefs are, figuring out what's underneath it, and just going through and tapping and talking about what's coming up for you. And then within it, anytime you're feeling the like big feelings coming up, I love myself unconditionally. I accept myself deeply and completely. I forgive this old story. I'm open to a new belief. You can do this. I'm self-taught at tapping. I'm self-taught. And look at where we all are because of it, right? So give yourself permission to take full ownership of all of this. My speedometer is at 73333.1. Beautiful. 73333.1. Thank you, Jessie. I did it to combat the darkness of the cold. that I got myself all super pretty today. And I'm obsessed with this coat. I scored this coat on sale this last spring for $12. And I love it so much. And it matches my snakeskin boots, which I'm not going to pull up because I will rip the hole in my jeans a little bit more because I washed them today and also I've gained a little bit of weight. I've got a bit squishier. That's fine. That's fine. Two things. I'm at Red Thread Holistics today doing walk-in crystal therapy sessions. Hi, Jay. I'm in the parking lot. I'll be in like literally 90 seconds. I'm at Red Thread doing walk-in crystal therapy appointments today. I also have 2 intensive committed offers in which we can work together long-term. One is a 6-month immersive, intensive one-on-one. The other is a 3-month where you also get built out this really incredible big physical package. So the first one, it's called the Getting Grounded Mentorship. If you have been doing spiritual work, have been engaged in your spiritual awakening, are just ready to like deeply connect in with yourself and bring your whole self to your day-to-day life and bring your spiritual practice and your intuition into everything that you do. Anything you see me talk about, like this is not like an aspect of my life. This is my entire life. If that's something you're interested in, the Getting Grounded mentorship is a really, really great fit for you. The other one is called an Intuitive Awakening. And if you are newer to a spiritual practice or like really serious about making this your lifestyle and just like ready to start engaging and understanding yourself better and like how you can integrate into a physical practice and how you can like tap into what's your intuition that you know what's going on but you're not sure like really what's there, the Intuitive Awakening is really perfect for you. So if you're interested in either of those, send me a message, reach out, and we can talk about them. The Get Grounded mentorship starts next Tuesday. There's 1 more spot left and the Intuitive Awakenings have 3 spots available. So I love you. You're beautiful. You matter. I'm proud of you for showing up today. I'm proud of you for choosing to move through things. I'm proud of you for choosing to actively engage in your healing and your shifting and your releasing. And things are coming and all feelings are temporary and all feelings are just energy and it's just things asking to be seen and moved. And we will continue to go through this experience as human beings where things are going to come up that are going to be hard and uncomfortable and hurt. And then beautiful, incredible, expansive, engaging things are also to come up. And if you want the second one, you have to have the first one. You cannot selectively numb. You cannot selectively disconnect from your life. If you disconnect from the uncomfortable shit, you're also disconnecting from the really beautiful stuff. You cannot selectively disconnect. You either get it all or you get a watered down version of whatever. Okay? Holla! Yes, Jessie. Yes. Yes, Dahlias. Tubapalooza! You don't know what that means, but I do, and she does, and that's all that matters. Go follow Jessie at Ever After Flower Farm. She's one of my best friends. She bought a vineyard and is turning it into this most incredible, beautiful flower farm, and I get to hear about the vision of it literally every single day, and you want to watch what's happening because it's incredible and amazing. You matter. I'm proud of you. I love you.